Почитувани гледачи, добро вечер и добре дојдовте во уште едно издание Јади Бурек на телевизија Сонце. Имам особена чест и задоволство вечерва во студио да го поздравам Џејсон Мико. Не е физички тука, но имаме контакт во живо со него од Аризона. И пред да му кажам добро вечер и да го вклучиме, сакам неколку работи да ви кажам во врска со Џејсон Мико. Вие знаете, сте го виделе, сте го читале, но рете ваков пријател, голем пријател на Македонија, да спомнеме повторно неколку работи. Иако е долгогодишен пријател, тој не е само пријател, тој е длабоко инволвиран во Балканите уште од 92 година. Го има снимено филмот за македонското име и идентитетот, A Name is a Name, филм кој сум ви го пуштил неброено пати и најверојатно може би и ќе биде забранет, така што мислам дека ќе искористиме уште една шанса пред овој филм да биде забранет. Има напишано преку 670 колумни за македонските магазини и портали од 2001 година па наваму. Верник е, верува во Бог, припадник е на конзервативната странка, републиканец што би се рекло, и е од онаа хардкор линија од времето на Роналд Реган, едно од најголемите и најпозитивни работи што се случиле во Соединетите Американски држави воопшто до сега. Секогаш е во молитвите со Македонија, за Македонија, беше близок со председателот Трајковски, починатиот председател Трајковски му беше личен советник и едно време беше и тука, длабоко е врзан со Македонија и секогаш е на страната на Македонија. Џејсон Мико е само лик кој покажува дека Македонија има длабоки и сериозни пријатели во Соединетите Американски држави. Џејсон, good evening.
Здраво, Јанко, како си?
Excellent. I prepare to talk on English. My English is Indian English, broken English. But there will be no problem for communication because I believe that most of the people will understand you. And after 10 or 20 minutes, whatever, of your answers of my questions, I will explain them because simultaneous translation will be very bad for your thoughts and positions what you want to make. So first of all, it's been a long time. How are you, my dear friend?
I am doing well, Janko. Thank you for asking. Yes, it has been a long time. And how are you doing? I hope everything is well. You know, I follow the news in Macedonia constantly, so I'm constantly thinking about all of my Macedonian friends. As you mentioned, I'm constantly praying for Macedonia and trying to do what is right for Macedonia.
Thank you very much for your praise, because I don't know what helps me in this difficult period. It's only hand of God and the prayers of my friend. So thank you very much personally for Macedonia. So the history will tell. First of all, before we start for Macedonia, tell me about United States. How are you doing?
Well, we're doing okay, I think. You know, we have President Trump has been in office now for almost a year and a half, and he has certainly mixed things up and certainly got everybody talking. You know, Janko, I'm a conservative before I'm a Republican, and I'm a principled conservative. I've spent many years studying the first principles that are necessary to make a society, any society, prosper and flourish. And I think that Donald Trump is implementing some of those. And so, you know, I agree with Donald Trump on 85% of what he does policy-wise. There's some things I disagree with him on.
But of course,
I think in a couple of areas, he's doing things that the mainstream media and others aren't really paying attention to, and that is rolling back unnecessary regulations, especially on businesses. And number two, the judiciary. So he's judges that will follow these first principles at all levels, from the Supreme Court, Judge Gorsuch, on down the line, and that will have a huge lasting impact, a positive impact for America and the American people.
Драги мои пријатели, го прашав како иде со Америка. Прво му се извинувам затоа што он е пред конзервативец Џејсон Мико, не е републиканец. Иако вика се согласувам со она што Доналд Трамп го прави во 85% секако. И збореше, кажуваше за судството, да не навлегуваме во локалните нивни детали, за судството, значи за ослободување и така натаму и така натаму. The main point from the United States, you know, if you remember 2008, сега ќе му спомнам за кризата 2008 година, do you agree that it was a systematic problem, it was near apocalyptic period for United States, and now America is a flourish. The business, the employment is the highest rate in the last 10 or maybe more years. Is it true?
Yeah, you look at economic indicators and they're starting to go up. Of course, the world faced an economic meltdown in 2008, 2009, of which many parts of the world are still recovering. And so, but you look at current economic indicators and what President Trump is and what the Congress is trying to do, and you do see those going up, and I think that's good for America, and I think that is good also for the world.
Yes. Значи, го спомнав за американската криза, каква беше во 2008 и која и синоќешниот мој гостин кој спомна дека Америка беше на работна екзистенција, а сега едноставно под ова администрација се оди нагоре со Соединетите Американски држави во смисла позитивна. Вработување, економија, се отвараат нови работни места и така натаму и така натаму. About media, the big fight of Donald Trump and mainstream media, which usually support leftism, Hillary, and which your thoughts were a couple of years ago that she will end up in jail sooner or later because of her criminals. My point, I'm sorry for my English, се извинувам и вас гледачи да ја срочам, не сум толку вежд во англискиот. Do you find similarities in media attacks from left, from Soros here, and in United States? I find those similarities, crying in the street, throwing the colors on the building, making small things big just to make a point that this America is bad. Also, the last thing was the crying baby and the picture of Trump on Time magazine that administration of Donald Trump pull away children from their mother, which came absolutely untrue. It was a very, very dirty lie, but very similar to what Macedonia going through this couple of years.
Yes, well, 2 points. First, on the Time magazine piece, of course, that, as you point out, that was manipulation. The little girl in question on the Time magazine cover was not separated from her mother. And Time magazine admitted that. So it was a manipulation. Number two, while still on that issue, I think it's important that your viewers and listeners understand that this policy of separating children at the border from legal immigrants that are coming over our border was also a policy of the Obama administration. We don't want to separate families, obviously, and our immigration system is broken. And so that needs to be addressed by Congress and President, and I think they're working on it. But I want to address a kind of a bigger issue, and I want to take kind of a 10,000-meter perspective, and that's the issue of the media and how it responds to leaders and movements and things like that. And let's be honest, Trump comes from reality television as well as business. But he's not the first. He's just the latest. In America, we can put that back to Franklin Delano Roosevelt, FDR, who in the 1940s used radio and talked about what was called the forgotten man. And he started this whole process, basically, of this whole beginning of this history of using media to get its point across, or to attack, or to support, or whatever. And I think, unfortunately, and of course, you know, Ronald Reagan was an actor before he went into politics. He was governor of California for a couple of terms and then became president. But he was very good at using the media. But I think the danger here, not just in America or Macedonia or elsewhere, is that the news becomes entertainment. And that's not good for discourse in any society.
Very good point.
And
news become entertainment. But that's my job. Џејсон Мико, I'm јади Бурек. I make a fun of the news. But the serious news agencies, they became entertainers, not presenters of the reality and the facts.
Yes, and there is a proper place for satire, for humor, but and that's what you do, you know. And you know, you look at late night television here in the States with Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and all those guys, and they all. But to your earlier point, they all have a certain worldview that begins with progressive politics, and that's where many of the quote-unquote mainstream media around the world, they come from that position to begin with. And so then you have voices like yours, Fox News, Breitbart, etc. They're trying to counter that. But I think, you know, and we're having, right now, we're going to have a serious policy discussion. There probably won't be a lot of humor. There will be some. But that's what's really needed, is for people to have a serious policy discussion. I'll give you one example. On Twitter, which is not a good place to have a serious policy discussion.
But of course.
I have challenged some of the think tanks and the academics from Europe, specifically on the Macedonia issue. I have challenged them to say, let's have a proper discussion on email, phone, whatever. None of them will take me up on it. They want to have a policy discussion.
Sorry, you challenge them to make debates via how?
Not a debate, but at least to exchange our views on these issues.
How?
By email, by phone, by Skype, whatever.
Personal
not
talk.
On Twitter.
Even with personal talk. Don't agree.
Yeah.
Only safe place. Hating.
It's the only
ending.
It's the only proper place. You can't have a policy discussion in 280 characters.
Yeah, but of course. Let me explain a little bit to my viewers. Драги мои, значи први спомнавме за Доналд Трамп дека политиката на одвојување на деца кои ќе бидат фатени на граница е уште од времето на Обама. Инаку фотографијата која беше лиферувана од левите дека детето било одземено благодарејќи на Доналд Трамп и неговата политика, испадна дека е лажна. Детето воопшто не било и на крај сите се извинија, но ниф им е полесно да се извинат, важно у првиот момент да се создаде негативна слика. Инаку ова почнува уште од времето на председателот Рузвелт, го кажуваше тоа Џејсон Мико, за користење на медиумите на начин како што денеска се користат. Тоа е прапочетокот. Even so, I think that the beginning of using the media in a bad way became in a fascistic, Nazistic Germany.
Yes, it did, although, and the author, Jonah Goldberg, an American author, has a wonderful book called Liberal Fascism.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, the first quote-unquote fascist American president was actually Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson.
And I have to make this point, Janko, this is so important.
Yes, please.
For your viewers. Fascism is an ideology of the left. If you look at Hitler's party,
Фашизмот е лева идеологија. Тоа ви го кажува Џејсон Мико. Ја му спомнав дека нели ја спомна книгата Либерален фашизам, а ова што го кажа дека фашизмот припаѓа на левичарските идеологии. Повели? Please go on.
The Nazi Party was the National Socialist German Workers' Party.
Yes. Национална социјалистичка работничка партија е нацистичката партија на Германија. Excellent point.
If you really want, if you're intellectually honest with yourself and want to find out more, you need to look at the Italian philosopher and politician Giovanni Gentile, who is considered to be the founder. Gentile. The founder of fascism. It's an ideology of the left.
You know, the root of the word fascism came from Italian fascio, which means uniformity. And the fashion, the word fashion and the fascism came for fascio, which means same dressing, you know, like jeans is fashion now, but it's also fascism because it turns off everything else. It's just a fun fact, but the roots is there. What you're trying to say? It's a deep social pathology, which is used in a political fight.
Yeah, and it's an ideology that elevates the collective above the individual.
Repeat that. It is
an ideology. It is an ideology that puts an emphasis on the collective above and over the individual.
Yes.
And in order for a society to flourish, you have to be focusing on individual rights and individual responsibilities.
Of course. За да едно општество може да се, значи, сите овие идеологии се базирани на колективизмите, како што е комунизмот, нели, нацизмот и така натаму, но за едно општество да може да напредува, мора да се фокусира на индивидуалецот. Why do you think that most important is individual? You know, because it sounds much better. Let's fight for everybody. Let's everybody be equal. But there is no progress in that because only people like Tesla, like Einstein, make the difference in the Isaac Newton, Elon Musk. Those are the people who make the difference in the whole world. Bill Gates, whatever, can go and on. But not everybody can make a big difference. We can follow the positive point.
Right. Yeah, that's a very good point, Janko. We are all individuals, and we're all individually created by our Creator, I believe, God. But we all have different talents and skills, and we come from different backgrounds. And the problem with one of the problems with our friends on the left, I think, is that they want equality of outcome. And they want the government to make everybody equal. And they want to use the levers of government and the power of government to make everybody equal. What a principled conservative wants is equality of opportunity. The role of the government is to create a level playing field for everybody to use those very different skills and talents they have to try and do whatever it is they can to take care of their family and achieve success, however they define it. So again, what our friends on the left want is equality of outcome. What principled conservatives want is equality of opportunity. And I think that's one of the big differences.
Добро, ова идеолошки само го објасни што е разликата помеѓу левицата и десницата за индивидуалното и колективното. Мислам дека повеќето од вас можат прилично добро да сватат. Сето ова не ви е симултан превод, ви го раскажувам разговорот затоа што сепак сметам дека во живо треба да биде, иако сите детали не ви се тука. Кој ќе биде на YouTube, се надевам дека ќе има и аутотранслейт, па ќе можете да проследите. Секогаш е интересно да се разговара со Џејсон Мико, бидејќи не само што е практичар, туку е и како верник, поаѓа од најдлабоките човечки ставови. Бог е креатор, а јас како единка сум создаден од него со единствени таленти. И моите таленти, I should not give up my talents for the greater good, because God give me some talents and I must use for everybody's good. My talents must flourish in society, not to be suppressed because of the equality. How do you say that?
Quality of outcome.
Quality of outcome. Yes.
So that everybody gets the same amount of everything, as opposed to achieving different equalities. And that's just kind of that's a part of this thing called life. Life is not fair. Life has never been fair. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
Repeat.
And it's certainly not the government's role to try and make life fair.
Oh, life is not fair. You know, Џејсон, I have one group of special people with disabilities, and they talk about their life and etc. etc. I expected that they will talk to cry about their destiny, about how they don't get enough money from the government, etc., etc. But the brave girl, you know what she said in my show? Oh, tears came to my eyes. She said, "No, don't feel sorrow for me. Life is not fair, and I embrace it. If it's not, this is not a God's creature, I don't know what is."
Right.
I will find that show, and I will send it. Maybe you will understand it. It was 3-4 years ago. Thank you very much for reminding me. But we are here to talk about Macedonia. But I must, because you're against the other analytics and etc. etc. You have some profanity and sorry, wrong word. I mean produchovenost, spirituality. I mean spirituality. Sorry, wrong word. I excuse myself to everybody. They will use this in Twitter. Never mind. Đeјсон, I discover one man which blew my mind. He's from Canada, he's a psychiatrist, he's 56 years old, and he stirred up the whole society. The left's just going crazy because of him. Don't tell me you have 12 rules. Yes, the best book. And I pray somebody to translate. No, please, just a little bit more on a screen. So, Jordan B. Peterson is my hero last day. 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos, is one of the most selling, most popular, most profound books in the last 10, maybe 20 years. So, do you know this guy? What do you think about him? And tell me anything.
Well, I'm glad you brought him up. And I was introduced to him not more than 4 or 5 months ago from a Macedonian friend of mine who told me about him. And he's a clinical psychologist from Canada, very mild-mannered. He doesn't get upset or upset at all, as far as I can tell from watching some of his YouTube videos.
Yes, especially in the Britain on a TV4, how he handled the very aggressive journalist.
I watched that, yeah. But here's the thing, and I think the thing that's really drawing people to him, especially young men from the ages of 16, 18 to mid-30s or early 40s, he's got a huge following amongst this particular demographic, and I think around the world, because what he's telling them is, you know what? You need to take responsibility for your own life, for your own problems. You need to stand up, throw your shoulders back, and do something about it. You can't just sit in your parents' basement and wail and moan and feel sorry for yourself. You've got to take responsibility. And that's one of the, I've only just started the book. I think I'm on rule number 3 right now. But it's fascinating because he's a clinical psychologist. and he pulls from that field and different other fields. I should also say this. He is a huge, I don't know if fan is the right word, but admirer of the late Russian dissident Alexander Solzhenitsyn.
Solzhenitsyn, yes, I know that.
And his home, Jordan Peterson's home, is decorated with Soviet art. Now, you might think that's a little bit strange.
Okay.
But the reason that he's got his home decorated with that art is a reminder of the pure evil of a totalitarian regime. And that's one of his main messages, is that we need, as a society, to wake up and see what's going on around us, and we need to fight what he calls this, I think he calls it a kind of a soft totalitarianism that is approaching. And as a matter of fact, it was Alexander Solzhenitsyn in Warning to the West. This is 3 speeches and a couple of interviews he gave to American and British audiences in the 1970s, when he had been expelled from the Soviet Union and he was living in America. And his warning to the West is not so much about Soviet ideology and communism and what it could do. I think the world knew it at that point. But his warning to the West was, you guys, you in the West better watch out, or you're going to become like the Soviets. You're going to become totalitarian and authoritarian. And that's one of the things that Jordan Peterson talks about. More book. This is The Demon in Democracy. And it's by a Polish member of the European Parliament, a philosopher and an author, who grew up under the Soviet influence and has now experienced freedom. And he's warning the same thing that Solzhenitsyn warned about in the 1970s, this encroaching, soft totalitarianism.
So let me explain a little bit longer. Have a drink of some Macedonian wine, please.
I have the Mastica's in the refrigerator, but it's still morning here.
Yes, good for you. Most of my people here, instead of mastica, they have fuso. So, pretty disappointing. No, don't comment that. Значи, малце влеговме во некои филозофски, идеолошки води, го прашав и за Џордан Питерсон, кој е клинички психолог, има 56 години и човекот на вистина прави вистинска возбудеја, повеќе пати го имам и постирано, изборено за него. Човекот ја удри ова шарена револуција, Сорос, левица и така натаму. Овие што се борат за правата феминистички, геј права и така натаму, во суштина ги разоткрива that those fight for the rights of the marginalized group of gay or transgender or etc. or feminism. It's not the fight for their rights, it's a fight for control the others who are not. Значи е борба и тоа е тој мек тоталитаризам кој се појавува во Соединетите држави, а кој Солженицин уште во 70-тите години им укажал на Западот во неговите говори, ја покажа Џејсон Мико таа книга, им укажал дека на Западот тоа ќе се случува, а тоа се случува сега. Тоа е овој процес на што го прават демократите, што го прават Обама, што го прави Клинтон, што го прави Сорос, она што ни се случува нас. Гледате на улица, ако не сте со нив, тогаш сте против нив. И гледате каква хајка се прави. I'm personally, a couple of times I was attacked by the media in the groups of etc. Because they don't have a real target in Macedonia, so they twist some of my words that I'm homophobic, that I'm fascist, etc. to prove their rights, why they have to react in here. I'm sorry, I was a target and excuse for those reactions. Значи, книгата 12 правила на животот на Џордан Питерсон е една од најпродаваните книги во светот. на многу млади луѓе им отвори очи, на многу млади луѓе, young people who are very confused now in the Western world. Не само на западот и кај нас, им отвори очи со една проста реченица: нема више седење и плачење дома кај мама и тато, застани, ако не ти чини, направи нешто, земи одговорност за твојата состојба и направи некоја промена. Но 12 правила на живот е изворедна книга, за жал се уште не е преведена кај нас. I'm very sorry, that book, 12 Rules of Life, still not translated in and published in Macedonia, and I'm hardly waiting. Let's get it done. Sorry?
Let's get it done. Let's figure out a way to do it.
Oh, I'm pretty bad about it. I can talk loud, but anything else in translation, etc., etc. Here's the thought: I will make free advertising any way I can possible for any publish house who will publish this book. This is my promise. That's the at least I can do. Значи, секој оној што ќе се осмели да ја преведе и објави оваа книга кај нас, од мене во мојата емисија и мене лично на социјални медии, на Facebook, на Twitter, во Јади Бурек, ќе му ја рекламирам максимално без пари, колку сака, како сака. Okay. Oh, thank you very much. I get a little bit excited about this because, you know, we have a Godzilla to fight for. This is not naive. Македонија се соочува со една Godzilla. Не е тоа, you know, in perception of how can I say normal, just simple Macedonian, that the enemy is USA, and that's where should we fight for. But I try to tell them that this is not true, because in this fight, like Macedonia, America is also involved. This fight is also on the streets in the society of United States. So, how are you doing?
Well, you bring up a good point, and you know, the United States is not the enemy of Macedonia. Russia's not the enemy. China and Russia aren't the enemy of the United States. It's ideas, it's ideology, and that's where it starts. And that's what we really got to focus on. I mean, as I've often, I think I wrote about this, you know, in one of my columns when I was still published in Dnevnik. You know, I said, you know, I don't hate Barack Obama when he was president. I said I don't dislike him. I said I could probably sit down with a man and enjoy a conversation with him over a couple of beers. It's his ideology and his ideas and his policy that I disagreed with. And I'd love to see the discussion in the United States and in Macedonia get back to a discussion of policies and ideas and use the ancient art of persuasion to try and, you know, I want to convince my friends that are on the other side, and they probably want to try and convince me. Keeping in mind, of course, that if we're debating face-to-face, we're probably never going to say, you know what, you're completely right and I'm completely wrong about everything I've ever thought about.
Even less on a social media. Yeah. Even less on a social media. Nobody can turn their minds on a social media. Let's be honest. On Facebook, nobody said something that who disagree changed their mind. Never happened.
Social, you bring up a very good point, Janko. I think, here's what I use. I use it to push information out.
There was a little break. Please repeat yourself.
Here's what I use social media for. I use social media for one reason and one reason only. It's to push information out. And occasionally post pictures of excellent craft beer that I'm drinking on the wall of my backyard. I don't want to have a debate on social media because you can't.
Yes. Yes, of course. So, let's go on a situation here. I will come back to your wines and your connections to Macedonia. I like the point no hating, talk to everybody, and I'm trying very hard to do the same. Знаете, јас се трудам тоа што Џејсон Мико го вика, да нема ширење омраза едни спрема други, а да можеме да разговараме со секого. Затоа и во мојава емисија, во овие критични денови, ги поканив сите од сите страни да гостуваат, и оние најрадикалните од десно и оние од лева страна што до сега одбегнуваат. You know, Mr. Branko Gerovski accepted invitation to come to my show, and after a couple of interviewers who were against the agreement between Macedonia and Greece, I hope so he will give me in person his thoughts about why does he think that this agreement is okay. Also, Prime Minister Zaev also accepted to be a guest in August here in my show. So I open this this platform, this my TV show for everybody. So excellent. Let's hear everybody, you know, because бидејќи ја мислам дека само ако слушаме една страна кој викаме не чини, ние ако може и да го изгубите сенсот што е тоа што не чини. Добро е можеби да се слушне и другата страна, за да имате правилно, бидејќи никогаш секоја крајност не е точно. Крајностите се шизофрени ситуации. In the middle, во средината е вистината. There is the truth. So, затоа, во наредниот период, ќе гледате гости, бидејќи there was a big segregation in a media this couple of years. I'm from SDSM, I'm not going to your show, I'm going only on this television. Also same with the ВМРО ДПМН, etc., etc. I'm trying hard to change that for everybody.
Good.
To came here. And I think that we can talk. I want to hear in his words what his arguments are. Also, I'm a legitimate question to ask. And I hope so for a good answers.
Excellent. So, good. I would encourage that. So,
thank you very much. If you have connection with Barack Obama, I would gladly like to make an interview with him via Skype. So,
all right, I'll see what I can do.
Excellent. I'm calling you from Arizona. You're in Arizona right now, yes?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Excellent. You live there? You work there?
I live here. I'm born and raised in Arizona. I live here. I work. Despite what many people on social media think, I work for a small public relations firm in Tucson that has absolutely nothing to do with international affairs or Macedonia. That's how I earn my living. But in my free time, I'm focusing a lot on people and a cause that I love very much, and that's Macedonia.
Excellent, excellent. Do you check your boots every day before you snake in the boot?
I don't leave them outside.
Excellent. Џејсон, it was a very pleasurable this part of the talk. I will ask you to make a small break, and we will back, and all the other discussion, it will be about the agreement and change the name of Republic of Macedonia. Драги мои, значи, поразговаравме со Џејсон Мико во првиот дел, ќе идеме со краток блок реклами, бидејќи го имаме на линија, да не го држиме, разговараме во живо од Аризона со него. Преводот не е симултан, туку е, јас го правам, ви раскажувам, за да ја сватите суштината за што разговарам. Во ова време, кога сите имате мобилни телефони, сметам дека минимум англиски се знае, а според законот морам да ви преведувам, но не можам буквално да ви преведувам, но сосема да знаете. Сепак сме во границите на нормалното, на дозволеното и пристојното. Го прашав од каде е, што е, како и така натаму. Голем пријател е на Македонија и разговаравме за книги, за филозофии, за идеологии, а во вториот дел за неколку минути, значи сосема само краток блок реклами, ќе одиме со Џејсон Мико, бидејќи он има сериозно добри анализи во врска со договорот помеѓу Македонија и Грција, подпишан во Преспа. Џејсон Мико, драги мои пријатели и пријателки, продолжуваме со емисијата. Џејсон Мико од Аризона се уште го имаме во живо. Ќе разговараме она што суштински, простете ми малку, што и филозофски забегавме со овој разговор, но имаме доволно време за сето тоа. Она што сакам да ви го презентирам, драги мои, е книгата на Ѓорѓе Атанасовски под наслов Македонска империја. Може и горната камера да ја прикаже, ако ја имаме. Оваа книга е издадена, само што излезе, се уште мириса прекрасно, Македонската империја од 356 до 323 година пред нашата ера. Ѓорѓе Атанасовски има издадена оваа книга на англиски и на македонски. Ќе искористам оваа можност како вчера на Александар Николовски и вечерва оваа книга да му ја подарам на Џејсон Мико. Џејсон, this is a book called Macedonian Empire. It's written in Macedonian and English also. So the owner of this TV station, he's a great admirer of Macedonia and trying to do his best in protecting the Macedonian heritage. This is one of the among many things, so it will be very glad. I'll be very glad to give you this book. Next time you came to Macedonia, I will give you personally.
Thank you. I look forward to that.
Yes. Џејсон, let's go the burning issue. Spогодба. So, Macedonia and Greece made agreement in Prespa. And this agreement make a turmoil in Macedonia. The society is completely divided. On the one side is those who like and accept this agreement. On the other side, they think that this is a national treason. International, European Union, all the ambassadors say their greetings and support to this agreement. So what you will tell me and your analysis of this agreement, please.
Great. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
First thing, I want to start by saying the American author Jonah Goldberg says that we protect what we're grateful for. And so we've seen a lot of people come out to the streets, on social media, in print and broadcast like we're doing now, etc., to discuss why they're opposed to the agreement. It's because they're grateful for what they have. They're grateful for the Republic of Macedonia. They're grateful for their Macedonian name. They're grateful for their Macedonian culture. They're grateful for the generations that have gone before them and died fighting for a free and independent and sovereign Republic of Macedonia. So again, we protect what we're grateful for. Second point.
Значи, ние го чуваме и сме благодарни за оно што го имаме, а тоа е името и наследството на оние што погинале за оваа земја, низиното име, идентитет и обстојување. Yes?
Yeah. Second point is that politically, this isn't a left, right, center issue. We have people from the left, right, and center, all political walks of life and all walks of life that are out there that do not support this agreement for a variety of reasons. And it's, again, I think it's because they are grateful for Macedonia. That's number two.
Под втора точка е дека ова не е веќе политичко прашање на идеологија леви, десни или било кој, бидејќи и од едната и од другата страна има луѓе кои се благодарни за ова што го имаат и за ова што се македонци и Македонија.
Yeah, great. Number three, I think that there are probably a lot of genuinely honest folks in Macedonia that they don't want to change the name, they don't want to change the constitution, they don't want to change their identity, but they think that there will be real tangible benefits from joining the European Union and NATO. And that isn't necessarily true. First of all, as we just saw with the EU summit going on, talks for Macedonia's EU membership might begin 1 year from now. Even if everything went well, Macedonia wouldn't be able to join the EU until at least 2028. And to be honest, I'm not sure the European Union is going to be around that long. Plus, we see a continued brain drain from the most recent EU countries, Bulgaria and Romania. And so EU membership is not a cure-all, and it certainly isn't an instant cure-all. We look at countries like, for instance, Norway and Iceland, who are not in the EU, and yet they're doing pretty well. And here's the thing. They didn't get rich by being in the EU. They got
which country? Finland and?
No, Norway and Iceland.
Norway and Iceland, sorry.
Right, yeah.
Sorry.
They've become rich by being outside of the EU, not in the EU.
Луѓе, земји кои не се дел од Европската Унија, на кои сепак добро им иде во суштина. Збориме за тоа, кажува Џејсон Мико. Повелете? Please go on.
Right. Yeah. So we need to be educating folks who, while they don't necessarily want to change their name, they do think that European Union membership and NATO membership is a cure-all for all of the problems in Macedonia, and that's just not the case. Also, with NATO membership, even if you received an invitation to join today, and you won't, it would have to be after this agreement is fully implemented. It would take a minimum of 18 to 24 months.
Are you sure about this?
NATO, I'm positive. This is the way NATO works. So here's the way NATO works.
Because the media here almost proclaimed that Macedonia is a part of NATO, and in July we will be a part of NATO.
Wrong.
Значи, го прашав, вика дека влегувањето во ЕУ и во НАТО не е волшебно решавање на сите проблеми. Ке имаме проблеми и така натаму, а дека ние нема да влеземе многу брзо. Напротив, дека ќе поминат 18 до 24 месеци, и сега за тоа го прашувам дали е сигурен во врска со кога е датумот на влегување и дека сега нема да бидеме поканети за да бидеме членка на НАТО.
Here's the way NATO membership works. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that this agreement is implemented and that you make all the changes, and etc., which you have to do according to the agreement by December of this year, in calendar year 2018. Then NATO actually signs the formal treaty with Macedonia for membership in, say, January. Then all 29 member states must ratify that treaty through their own internal processes, which means in most cases their parliaments. In the case of the United States, it's the U.S. Senate. That process, for instance, Montenegro, it took 18 months. So it's a minimum of 18 months before you can actually be, from that next January, so 2 years from now, it would be 2 years or more before you became an actual member of NATO. That's a fact.
So, значи, дека 2 години ќе бидат потребни за да станеме членки на НАТО, со тоа што само на Црна Гора е било потребно 18 месеци, но договорот овој договор треба да биде ратификуван, а сето тоа како потврда претходно и, например, и во Сенатот на Соединетите Американски држави да биде одобрено поканата за членството на Македонија во НАТО. In the Senate of the United States they will be voting about membership of Macedonia in the NATO.
It's the US Senate that votes, yes.
Oh. So all the значи сите членки на НАТО ќе мора да гласаат први Македонија да влезе. So what we can hope for NATO, at least, only invitation? Now we have an invitation. What a radical change could be happened in this next summit?
Well, my understanding is that in July there would be an agreement to talk about the invitation. So the invitation would only come if you implement everything in this agreement first.
Значи, ќе добиеме покана ќе добиеме покана за почеток за разговор за членство во НАТО. Talk about membership. But after all of this was implemented.
Right.
Значи, откако се овој договор, потпишан во Преспа, ќе биде имплементиран во нашиот парламент, промена на уставот, институциите, тогаш ќе може да се активира нашето членство во НАТО.
Now, here's an important part of this whole thing, Janko.
Добре.
That your viewers got to understand is that
Ова вие треба да го запомните, ова е многу важно, вам ви се обраќа, гледачи.
Let's just pretend that Macedonia does all the changes to its constitution regardless.
Да предпоставиме дека сме ги направиле сите промени.
And then in January, this process, this 18 to 24 month process begins of ratification of the treaty. You know who's going to wait until the very end to ratify it? It's going to be Greece, Albania, and Bulgaria. And what they are likely to do is to demand even more concessions from Macedonia, more changes to the constitution. Whatever it is they want, you're going to have to give it to them if you want to be a member of NATO. Otherwise, they will withhold their vote, or they will withhold a positive vote on the treaty, and then you won't be a member.
Popular opinion is if United States told those countries stop it and leave it, they will obey.
Well, remember in April of 2008 in Bucharest, George W. Bush wanted Macedonia to be a member of NATO along with Albania and Bulgaria. The President of the United States of America. What happened? Greece vetoed that. Doesn't matter. So my point being, anything could go wrong in this process. And then you will have changed your constitution and still not be a member of NATO.
And there is no safe word for this for us.
Right. Now, if you want to, we can get into, I've studied this agreement quite a few times. I've read through it many times. I've read parts of it dozens of times. And of course, many of our friends who support the agreement, especially the internationals from academia, the media, think tanks, rushed out to support the agreement a week and a half ago when it was signed, but hadn't bothered to read the agreement. But
let me translate just a second. Значи, го има прочитано договорот неколку пати и го објаснува зошто одеднаш сите го одобруваат и го поздравуваат овој договор, но повеќето од нив појма немаат што е договорено и што е потпишано. Они само поздравуваат една флоскула, Македонија и Грција се договорија. And we congratulate. But what was on the paper, it's part of the process which should come after this, after party, after whatever.
And of course, don't forget this agreement.
Yes.
Greece is supposed to ratify the agreement.
Да, овој договор треба грците да го потврдат, така.
But they never ratified the 1995 interim accord.
Но и договорот од 95-та не е ратификуван кај нив. We ratified this agreement already.
Yeah, Macedonia did, although, and I have to do a call out to President Ivanov for today for saying he won't sign it. Good on him. He has some very...
Иванов не се согласи одби да го потпише.
He, as a constitutional law expert, he has some very good points to make. One of them, and this is before we get into anything else, the agreement at the very top talks about the settlement of the, quote, differences, that's plural, as described in Resolution 817 and 845. That's the resolutions. Now, I have those two resolutions here. So the agreement talks about differences. UN Resolution 845 of 1993 and UN Resolution 817 of 1993 talk about a singular difference.
Oh, repeat that, please.
Yeah. So these two resolutions of 1993, Resolution 817...
187,
817.
817, да, збори за разлики во множина. In plural. Differences. Okay?
No, this is difference singular.
This is different. Only singular. Only
Yes.
one different. The name issue.
This is differences plural.
Во новиот договор стои за разликите, значи веќе е множина. So we missed a chance maybe at the beginning only to change the name and nothing else, and now we have more and more and more.
Well, of course. So they'll always ask for more. So, with that said, I have, and I'll make this available to you in English, and we're going to have it translated into Macedonian.
Okay, вие ќе го направите ова. 12 troubling and problematic aspects of the Zaev-Cyprus agreement. Значи 12 вознемирувачки и проблематични точки од договорот помеѓу Заев и Ципрас.
Yeah. Now, this is just my own analysis based on what I know and what I've read.
Да, ова е негова анализа според она што го има прочитано и видено.
You want to go through them?
Yes, please.
Okay. Number one, Zaev and his citizen-led government never reached out with or consulted the opposition or President Ivanov.
Значи без консултација со Иванов и со опозицијата е подпишан овој договор. Okay?
That creates a divided, an extremely divided society in Macedonia, which isn't good for Macedonia or the region.
И тоа предизвика голема поделба во општеството, што не е добро ни за Македонија, ни за регионот.
Yeah, number one. Number two, the Zaev-Cyprus agreement restricts the right of free speech on both individuals and organizations.
Договорот го крши правото за слобода на говор. Freedom of speech?
Yeah, of individuals and organizations.
И на организациите и на поединците.
So here's where it gets into the weeds, and you really, I would urge your viewers to consult with lawyers, maybe they are lawyers, and to really look at the fine points and the details in this agreement.
Значи ве поканува Џејсон Мико да бидете активни, да ги прочитате овие, да разговарате со адвокат или ако имате правно познавање, да донесете заклучок за овој договор, да го анализирате и самите, затоа што се работи, because it's about ourselves. We must know.
Exactly.
We cannot live only to me, you, or somebody else. Everybody must involve in this. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah. So, article, and you might have a copy there.
Yes?
Article 1, paragraph 3, subsection F. F is in Fala. It states...
A, B, C, D, E, at my is Cyrillic. A, B, C,
well, yeah,
D, E,
that's fine.
G,
1,
F.
3, F.
1,
The
3.
adjectival reference to the state.
Yes. Придавката во однос на државата, низините службени органи and other public institution ќе биде во согласно со официјалното име на втората страна и со низиното скратено име односно на Република Северна Македонија или на Северна Македонија.
So, what this says, in my opinion, is that's the adjective. The adjective is, quote, of the Republic of North Macedonia, ili, of North Macedonia. That's not an adjective. An adjective is a single word. In this case, it would be Macedonian.
Аха, добро. Како придавка. Други употреби на придавката не е ова придавка, туку како еден збор. Добро? Ве разбрав. Ова е точка 3 од точка 1 став Г. Придавката во однос на државата. Други употреби на придавката, вклучително употребата на придавката однос на приватни ентитети и актери, да не се поврзани со државата и јавните ентитети, кои не се засновани со закон и не добиваат финансиска поддршка од државата за активности надвор од државата, може да бидат... You know, I last night with Mr. Nikolovski, vice president of the ВМРО-ДПМН, said that Greece paid 60 top lawyers to make this agreement, and Macedonia only one.
Wow. Wow. That's
I don't
shocking.
know. I don't know. That was what he said last night in my show. So, please, let's go to...
But let's look at this from a practical standpoint.
Okay?
What this means is that you cannot say the Macedonian government. It has to be government of the Republic of North Macedonia.
Не можеш да кажеш македонска влада, туку влада на Република Северна Македонија.
So, but that's okay. So that applies to the government and its official organs, entities, state.
Да, и ова ќе се однесува на сите институции, не само на владата, така?
But
no.
This paragraph also says that this would also apply to any organization that receives funding or support from the government.
Да, ова го прочитав. I read that also to the people that ова исто ќе се однесува и не значи let me see the translation one more time. Други употреби на придавката, вклучително употребата на придавката во однос на приватни ентитети и актери кои не се поврзани со државата и јавните, кои не се основани со закон и не добиваат финансиска поддршка, можат да бидат во согласно со член 7.3.4, употребата на придавката за активност може да биде согласно. Now we have to go to head 7. Because for the private use of this will be, let me see, number 7.
Seven regulates that you're not Hellenic. Right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to let's go number 4.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to do all of them. I'm going to give you this document, and we'll have it translated, and your viewers can get it on your website.
Okay.
But
значи,
here's
овој документ за ова што збориме со господинот Џејсон Мико ќе биде објавено, ќе го објавам на мојот портал, ќе го објавам на Facebook, Џејсон Мико ќе го даде и ќе го објават и другите, така да ќе ви биде дадено на увид, така што ако и сум сгрешил нешто во преводот, if I do some wrong translation, the original document will be available for the viewers and institutions to see. Yeah. Значи, јас се извинувам ако нешто погрешно преведов, сепак документот ќе ви биде и анализата доставена и на ваша употреба, за ваше потреби преведена на македонски.
Now, yeah, we'll go through some of these real quick.
Да, ќе отидеме из некои други на брзина.
I'm very concerned about existing Macedonian businesses, private entities, and what I believe will be a requirement that they have to change their name if the word if the word Macedonia or Macedonian appears in it. So, on June 19, 2 days after the Zaev-Tsipras agreement was signed, Greek Foreign Minister Nikos Kotsias had an interview on Good Morning Greece TV program. And he starts to talk about the issue of private businesses. He says, quote, those 3,500 companies, these are Macedonian companies he's talking about. Those 3,500 companies will seek to resolve their own name issue. And he goes on to say that they'll resolve their name, private businesses will resolve their name issue according to Articles 7 and 8. So 2 questions. Oh, go ahead.
Значи, ова ќе се однесува и на приватните бизниси, нема на само институциите, владите, туку со овој договор. Do you think that this agreement will also affect the private businesses so they can tell me how can I put something on my product so they can come to my television and said, no, this is not allowed?
I think that'll happen. Well, certainly products like this wonderful bottle of Macedonian mastica will not be able to say
Macedonian.
Made in Macedonia is what it says here. So
it will be made in Northern Macedonia.
North Macedonia, probably.
North Macedonia.
But the issue is, so 2 days after the signing of this agreement, Nikos Kotsias tells his interviewers that he has a list of 3,500 Macedonian businesses. How did he get that?
I don't know.
Who gave him that? Well, that's a question for Zoran Zaev when he comes on, but I think you should be asking that question now. Because the way I read this is that, and the way I read his interviews, is that Macedonian businesses are probably going to have to think about changing their names.
Значи, сметате дека... No, but do you think that will be a very big problem for the Macedonian business? Because most of the business community, all the... I met bankers, private entities who is very rich and very successful. They don't have a problem for changing names. Really. I cannot... It's very difficult for me to find... Значи, сакам да му кажам дека од моето искуство што сум го имал со тајкуни македонски, богати личности, успешни бизнесмени, воопшто немаат никаков проблем промената на името за да се терал бизнисот. They say, I don't have a problem with changing your names. Let's doing business, more business, more business. Do you think that they expect they have to change everything in their appearances of their product?
Well, that's a very good question for them. I don't know, but under this agreement, my understanding is that they'll have to not only change their name, but they'll have to change anything that is related to the word Macedonia or Macedonian. So that would be all business documents, all signage, websites, everything. If they're willing to do that, well, I guess then that's their business. So, but here's another thing to consider, Janko. So if Zoran Zaev wants to lead by example, why doesn't he change the name of his party? SDSM, Social Democratic Union of Macedonia. Shouldn't it be Social Democratic Union of North Macedonia? Shouldn't he change it now?
This is a very good question. I will propose this to Mr. Gerovsky, and I will talk about this with him. He's very close with the government and with the SDSM. So, Џејсон Мико вели дека премиерот стално акцентира со својот позитивен пример дека ќе направи, нели, да ги охрабри да се прифати овој договор. Па Џејсон Мико му фрла ракавица и вика, еве нека направат и нека го сменат името на партијата, да не биде повеќе СДСМ, туку СНМ. Социјалдемократски сојуз на Северна Македонија.
Yeah.
I think you give them a very good idea, and they will do it.
Okay. Let's see how their members feel.
Ја му велам дека не би имало проблем, дека им дал добра идеја, а он вика во ред да видиме како ќе мислат за ова членовите на партијата. Do you think that a good part of the people, no matter in which party they are, there is a lot of people who disagree with this agreement? Дали мислите дека има многу луѓе и од СДСМ и од ВМРО и од двете партии кои не се согласуваат со овој договор? Какво е неговото мислење? Miko, please.
Look, there's all kinds of. First of all, when you, because I think the Prime Minister today said that 75% of the people who vote on the referendum will vote for it because 75% of the people want to join NATO and the EU.
Yes.
He said that last night.
Yes.
Number one, that's not entirely true. The numbers are in the low 70s, actually. Number two, when the question is asked, are you willing to join the European Union and NATO if you have to change your name, then those numbers drop dramatically. People aren't willing to change their name to join these two organizations. And that's the number that he should be focusing on.
Okay, thank you very much. What's your think and opinion about identity? They say our identity will be strong, and definitely nobody cannot say anything about our identity. It's very strange and muddy waters for me still about can I call myself Macedonian or not? Значи го прашувам прашањето на идентитетот. Дали со овој договор, дали натаму јас ке можам да се определувам како македонец?
That's a very good question, Janko. And according to the agreement, yes, the word Macedonia and Macedonian can apply to you as a Macedonian.
No.
But oddly, according to the agreement, that means something different from the way Greeks interpret it, which you're trying to regulate how people identify themselves by law or an agreement, and you can't do that. The troubling and the problematic aspects of this get into the parts of the agreement that talk about where they're going to form a commission with the Greeks to look at things like school books and other school materials like atlases and maps and other materials. And they're going to try, what the Greeks are going to want to do is to change your Macedonian history according to these books, etc. But it's also important to remember that the agreement that was signed with Bulgaria, the Treaty on Good Neighborly Relations, does the same thing. It sets up a commission to work with the Bulgarians to look at school textbooks and maps and things like that. So you're going to have the Bulgarians saying one thing about school textbooks, and the Greeks saying a different thing about school textbooks, which is almost the basis for a Monty Python sketch. But it will have very serious and negative implications for Macedonian school children.
Judean People's Front.
Front, the Liberation People's Front of Judea, exactly.
Добро, разговараме за идентитетското прашање и суштински. Треба малце по-детален, но во суштина го каже истото што господинот Николовски го каже и вчера. По договорот ние може да се нарекуваме македонец, но тоа ќе биде сосема и многу поразлично од она што интерпретацијата на грците ќе имаат. The real question is што е македонец и така натаму. Но Џејсон, the real question is can I in my documents will be stay Macedonian as a nationality. Let me see my passport. So I look at my passport last night also. I will look at again. There is a my name, Janko, државјанство, nationality, Македонско, Macedonian. So
under this agreement,
yes,
it will say of the Republic of North Macedonia / Macedonian.
Oh my God.
Now,
let me write this. So it will be this on Macedonian on translation. It will be државјанство, Северно Македонско државјанство, North Macedonian.
North Macedonia.
North Macedonia.
Right.
North Macedonia.
/ Macedonian.
So
you'll basically have
Macedonian as a nationality Macedonian.
Yeah, well, the nationality will be of the Republic of North Macedonia / Macedonian. So you'll kind of be a schizophrenic, I guess.
Дека, значи, вака според Џејсон Мико вели дека ќе стои. Државјанство ќе биде Северно Македонско државјанство Северно North Macedonian or North Macedonia?
North Macedonia.
North Macedonia, Северно Македонско државјанството ќе биде Северно Македонско / Македонец, Macedonian.
Right.
But here државјанство is wrote with Cyrillic, and it's right. I put some ink on my document. No, I don't want to change it. На македонски е напишано македонско како државјанство, а како nationality е напишано на англиски Macedonian.
Yeah, but let me give you a real world, real time example of what's happening right now as we speak. So the website Eurobasket.com covers all things basketball around Europe and around the world.
Okay.
2 days ago, they changed the nationality of all the Macedonian players listed on their website to, it said nationality North Macedonian.
Значи, на страната која е за кошарка, на сите кошаркарски за кошарка веб порталот, македонските кошаркари на нивната националност веќе им ги изменил нивната националност и наместо македонци пишува северно македонци.
So there was an outrage on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, emails to the editor of this Eurobasket.com.
Eurobasket.com.
And within 24 hours, they changed it back. So that's good. That's a good victory.
Значи за 24 сата они го променија и повторно го оставија Македон, because we still didn't implemented that.
Well, plus there is no such thing as a North Macedonian. You're just Macedonians, and always will be.
Of course, maybe we will live in North Macedonia, but we will be Macedonians. So Irish people in North Irish are still Irish or North Irish.
Well, no matter,
Korean in South Korea and in North Korea are still Koreans.
Right. But and no matter what, just so your viewers know, no matter what happens, I'm always going to call it Macedonia.
Џејсон вика, што и да се случи, што и да донесет, ја секогаш ќе бидете македонци, ќе ја викам Македонија. Џејсон, what do you think about referendum? Што мислиш за референдумот?
Well, that's a good question, and I see there's a lot more news coming out. And you know, I'm not a lawyer, and so I don't know completely what the law says. My understanding is that a referendum in Macedonia, in order to be legal, needs 50% plus one of the registered voters to come out and vote.
Yes, but they're trying to lower the census.
Well, that's yeah. There's the threshold issue, and then there's the issue of the voter rolls, because it was the people that put Zaev in power that complained about the voter rolls. What was it? 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I can't remember now. So there's that issue. And the second issue is, how is it worded? And then the third issue is, what's the third issue? So it's that, is it binding, or is it just merely consultative?
Да. Тоа е за референдумот, дали ќе биде обврзувачки или ќе биде само консултативен. Затоа што трикот, I think the trick is, because we have a referendum for independence of Macedonia in 1991, and it was said Republic of Macedonia. So until then, that referendum is still valid.
Right.
They know through the law that cannot cut, like Brexit. The British cannot turn back the results of the referendum, whatever they want, etc., etc. But also we cannot get back from the results of our independence referendum, in which state Republic of Macedonia, and so it's very good thought that this referendum will be only consultant, just to see what people think, but very on the good side. Zaev, Prime Minister Zaev, said that he will resign if the referendum is unsuccessful. So if the people don't vote for the changes, he will resign. Значи, премиерот Заев кажа дека ако резултатот од референдумот не е поволен, поточно народот не прифати промена на името, он ќе поднесе оставка.
So yeah, so we'll see here in the coming weeks what they decide. Here's another question: will the government consult with the opposition on the wording of the referendum? Since they didn't consult with the opposition on the agreement, will they consult with them on the referendum? I don't know, but it's a question that you all should be asking the Prime Minister and members of Parliament.
Да, дали ќе се консултираат и со опозицијата во врска со референдумското прашање и така натаму, бидејќи за договорот они не се договорија и со опозицијата воопшто, иако порано беше критика дека е исклучена и така натаму. They have a very good answer for all that. You know, the opposition party was a regime, so this is democracy, this is a freedom, so we doing best for the people.
Right, of course. So yes, there's only one way, our way. So
pretty democratic.
Exactly. So, but I just want to go back, and we don't have time to go through the 12 reasons that I find the agreement problematic.
Yes.
But I just want to.
Рековме дека ќе го објавиме тоа. You will publish and I will show to my viewers.
Yeah, but just a quick summary. Number one, the starting point of the Greek position is that a Macedonian identity and a Macedonian people never have existed. And so that is always going to be their ultimate goal, is to eradicate the identity of the Macedonian people.
Значи, Џејсон Мико сака да каже дека позицијата на грците е дека македонци како идентитет никогаш не постоеле, што значи do you think that in the future this will not be over, as I understand it?
No, if this agreement is implemented and goes through,
ако се имплементира овој договор,
this isn't the end, this is just the beginning.
Ова ќе биде само почеток, ова нема да биде крај на сите проблеми. They will gain a power to erase total.
They're going to try.
Ќе се обидат. That's the reason why the Bulgarians said after the sign of agreement that this is the end of the Makedonizmot.
Yeah. So, I mean, President Ivanov said, I think last week or the week before, that the Greeks have nearly succeeded in erasing the Macedonian identity in Aegean Macedonia, and now they're going to start with the Republic.
Да, председателот Иванов минатата недела има изјавено дека грците скоро и да успеале во бришењето на македонскиот идентитет и така натаму. Значи, in the main point is that all the problem the Greeks have, it's not the name issue, it's the identity. We don't exist.
Always been the identity.
Секогаш беше идентитетот. But why? Why all of this? What do you think? Why?
Because they claim that there is no Macedonian people, Macedonian nation, Macedonian identity apart from northern Greeks.
Дека тие тврдат дека не постои македонец, македонски идентитет, македонци во Северна Грција. But what those people will be now?
Which people?
In northern Greece. In Aegean.
The Greeks?
No. Macedonian who lives in Greece.
The Greeks will continue with their centuries-long plan to eradicate any identity of Macedonians living in northern Greece. Professor Lorraine Danforth from I think it's Bale, I can't remember which university back east, has written extensively on this, as have others. Human Rights Watch has talked about this. I believe Amnesty International has talked about this attempt by the Greek government to eradicate any identity of anybody who is non-Greek in Greece. This is well known that the Greeks don't accept minorities in their country.
Да, они воопшто и грците не прифаќаат малцинство во нивната земја. Мора да си грк. Џејсон, what we can do? We show in the past, even when we have a strong government based on a will of the people, it was very difficult to fight for. Those leftism, which is very strong in the deep state, in the European Union, and all the international factor pressed very hard for this, give very big support to to the SDSM, and especially Zoran Zaev, to do this. And they all agree and congratulate on this agreement. So this is a, do you think that this agreement will eradicate Macedonian nationality, will erase Macedonians once for all?
Great question. If this agreement is implemented, over time, let me choose my words carefully. If this agreement is implemented, over time, the Macedonian identity will erode. And the Greeks and others, the Bulgarians, will attempt to speed up that process. That's what they're going to, and I want to be careful in using the word attempt. That's what they're going to try to do, because that's their goal. Now.
But why?
Why? Because they, again,
what
because
is,
they don't
what is
believe
the,
that a Macedonian
you know, when we talk about politics, you know, international intervention of one country to another is because of the oil, the gold, the practical meaning. What is the practical meaning for Greece and Bulgaria to erase Macedonian from identity and not to allow anybody to call them Macedonia? Ono što, Џејсон, само да преведам, just a second, just to translate to the people. Ono što го вика, дека ако овој договор се имплементира со време, ќе дерогира македонскиот идентитет, ќе се распаѓа, а тоа ќе биде подпомогнато од страна на Бугарија и на Грција. Значи, во суштина се навраќаме. This is not the end, this is just beginning. Ова не е крај и решавање на македонското прашање, ова е почеток на завршување на македонското прашање. Она што јас го прашувам, што му викам why, зошто се во ова, каде е практичната? I cannot believe that is a ideology. We hate Macedonians, let's erase them. No, I don't believe in that. What do you think? What's the main reason behind all of this? For Bulgarian, for Greeks, etc.
Well, ultimately, of course, you would have to ask them that question. I can only speculate.
Speculate, please.
Part of it could be, you know, the most valuable resource on planet Earth, which is land, actually next to water. That could be part of it. It could be territorial aspirations. But I really do believe, Janko, that some things are these kind of ethereal, ephemeral things like identity are more important than things like land and gold and oil and all that. And so I think that that's a real thorn in their side, that there is a group of people who claim to be independent of them, who are asserting their Macedonian right to be Macedonians. And at the end of the day, I think that's just something that, for whatever reason, that they don't like and don't want. And so they're going to work to eradicate it. But the poet and author T.S. Eliot said, there are no lost causes. There are no lost causes. And so it's up to the Macedonian people to make sure that their identity is not erased.
Hold a second. Значи, оно што го збориме, јас што го прашуваме, која е практичната страна? Тоа и утре вечер на гостинот ќе му поставам прашањето. За грците и бугарите толку силно да се борат да не постои македонскиот идентитет и македонците. Тоа е прашање на кое стварно треба да се види и во кое задира длабоко и историски, а и практично. Втората работа, она на крај што ми го цитира, е T.S. Eliot, one of the greatest poets of all times. Ако не знаете кој, неговите стихови се цитирани на крајот на филмот од страна на Марлон Брандо во Апокалипса, и вели дека нема загубена цел. There is no lost hope.
No lost causes. Yep.
Lost causes. Значи, причина за борба не може да биде загубена. Значи, македонците не треба да се предадат, според него. But, if I remember from Apocalypse Now, Marlon Brando spoke those words светот нема да заврши со торжествен тресок, туку бавно цвилејки. The world will not end with a bang, but with a whimper.
Yeah.
So Eliot said very great things for motivating and very depressing things to think about it. One of the greatest.
Yeah. The fight never ends.
Борбата никогаш не завршува. But of course, Џејсон, on so many levels, this was very nice for me personally interview on so
Likewise.
many different religion, philosophy, politics, and patriotism. So thank you very much for all of this, and I hope so to see you soon.
Thank you very much, Janko, for having me on the show. It has been a pleasure. I always love talking with you and my other Macedonian friends and others about issues of importance. And so just let me leave you with the fact that I'm going to continue to do whatever it is that I can do to fight for Macedonia, for the Republic of Macedonia, and for the Macedonian people. That's my pledge to you.
Џејсон Мико, this is for you, and I will
Great.
keep it to give it to you personally. I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Thank you. You too. All the best.
Драги мои, ете, поразговаравме со господинот Мико за многу теми во врска со прашањето со договорот. Џејсон Мико е докажан пријател на Македонија и навистина се залага како ретко кој за Македонија и за македонците. На некој начин ете неговото излагање го слушнавме и ги слушнавме неговите ставови со ова прашање. Во наредниот период се надевам дека се повеќе ќе можам да носам гости кои имаат испротиставено мислење од оние кои протестираат, кои се патриоти, кои се опозиција, кои како Џејсон Мико, за да ги слушнам и нивните ставови овде, од овој медиум, со мој подпрашања. Нормално, зошто сметаат дека, значи, рете и треба. Прво да престанеме да се мразиме, да престанеме сегрегација, забрани и така натаму. Ја 10 години се борам од тоа и им велам дека за никого не е добро. Ни за мене, ни за нив забраната, не смееш ти да гостуваш кај Јанко, ти да не идеш кај овој, ти да не идеш. Воопшто не е добро. Имаме многу медиуми и сите треба да имаме некоја минимум синергија. Затоа утре ќе имам задоволство прв пат во емисијата, гостин ќе ми биде Бранко Геровски. Дајте ми уште неколку минути, сакам да ви ја презентирам книгата Македонска империја. Горната камера, режија. Македонска империја е книга издадена од Ѓорѓа Ѓорче Атанасовски. Книгата само што е објавена и на македонски и на англиски. Ова е она суштински скратено за она негова идеја Обединето кралство Македонија и збори за работи кои се поддржани со факти. Македонските кралеви, македонските богови и може да биде и прилично практична работа. Се надевам дека ви се допаѓа, многу е луксузно направена, значи мислам дека е ова 120 грамски кунзрук, перфектна квалитет. Чекај да видам кај е отпечатано. Мислам дека знам кај е отпечатано, ама да проверам уште еднаш. Европа 92 Кочани. Добро, окей. Одлично завршена работа. Убаво, луксузно издание на оваа книга и со задоволство ќе прочитам. Не е обемна, што значи за многу кратко време можеме да дознаеме и многу практично е направена за Македонската империја од 356 до 323 година пред нашата ера. Она што можам да ви го кажам 24.5.2018 е објавена книгата. Она што можам да ви го кажам дека оваа книга, не знам ако сето она се имплементира од договорот, може и да биде забранета, повлечена и така натаму. Затоа, драги мои, господинот Атанасовски се согласи на вас, гледачите, да ви подари примероци. Можам само следново да го направам. Ако отворам телефони сега, ќе останеме до сабајле, ја би ве замолил да земете, да ми напишете на мејл, име, презиме, број на лична карта и јас тоа ќе го доставам. Мојот мејл е јади@gmail.com. Режијава ми е, знам дека ќе ја извадат, што се вика, имейл адресата тука. Пишете ми. Во некоја друга емисија ќе делиме и преку телефонски јавувања. Па ете, што се вика, не знам дали е ова самрак или зора, како и да е, живееме во едно историско време и сите артефакти кои ни се на располагање сега, ќе биде драгоцено да се имаат. Не знам што носи иднината, имам само силна верба во Бога, што и да биде, може само за добро да биде. Треба да имаме силата и верата на еден Господ Исус Христос, кој и како Бог и како човек бил распнат на крст и последните зборови ми биле: Господи, зошто ме остави? Па го воскресна и го вознесе и го воскресна во слава во третиот ден. И тоа е најголемиот празник на планетава, воскресението Христово. Значи, неговиот пример ми е од религиозен аспект, да човек не губи надеж, но и начин како треба да се бориме. Да е решението пушка, пукање, тепање, убивање, до сега ќе го направевме. Помина тоа време, нашите предци тоа го направија, за да ние се бориме на интелектуален, духовен, продуховен начин. Да разговараме едни со други, да не се мразиме без оглед што мислиме поинаку. Се надевам дека повеќето од вас, вака, малку што сакам да ви кажам. Простете ми ако го сватите како критика, има луѓе кои ќе ми напишат: Јанко, не знам англиски, Јанко, не знам да испратам мејл. Луѓе мои, ова е 2018 година. Ова не е 1978 година. Нема оправдание денеска на сите овие мобилни да не можете минимум да користите имейл, да регистрирате имейл. Сметам, па поготово по старите гледачи. Бидејќи очигледно в Македонија младите не ја бранат по старите, едните исти личности ги гледаме, но и не им успева. Толку им е силата и респект за нив. Но очигледно таа борба треба да биде правна, интелектуална и да се дебатира, да се разговара. И другата страна што упорно тврди дека едната страна е затуцана, дека непросветлена, дека се прости, дека бранат глупост и така натаму, дека е ова прогрес, треба и они со многу љубов и разбирање да сватат зошто другата страна е уплашена за својот идентитет, за својата земја и за својот народ. И така, и само така може да се успее. Со хејтање, со насилство, со закани, со навреди, нема да се направи. Знаете, Господ Исус Христос можел да ја спречи римската војска да го фати? Као Танос, да ги преполови. Имал и сила и моќ, но не го направил тоа. Епа, знаеш, во борба секогаш треба човек да се праша. Што би направил Господ Исус Христос? Се трудам јас да си го поставам тоа прашање и да го дадам тој одговор. jadiburek@gmail.com. Јади Бурек спомено заедно нели, мајмунче или како го викате, gmail.com. Пишете ми име, презиме и мобилен и ќе ви кажам во кој ден ќе можете да дојдете овдека во телевизија да си подигнете примерок од оваа книга. Благодарам за вашето внимание. Лека ноќ и пријатно.